Hi folks, it's Evil here from Thundermist Lure Company, and welcome to today's episode of Thundermist Fishing Tips. I'm really excited this morning and anxious to get my line wet because it's my first time bass fishing. I missed opening bass, it was terrible weather, couldn't get out, but today folks, we've got a great day upon us, and I'm just gonna work my way into this back bay. I'm out here on Lake Eerie, and we're gonna be looking for smallmouth bass this morning. I'm gonna be running crankbaits. So stay tuned folks, I'm looking for a great day and I'm anxious to get started. Got a nice little spot, we're in this back bay here. There's some rock and cover down here, and today what I'm doing folks, I'm running the brand new Misty minnow crankbait by Thundermist, and it's the medium-sized crankbait, so it's just a nice little, not too small, not too big, but just a perfect sample size for these bass to kind of inhale. And here's my first cast. Let's see how I do with my very first cast with this new Misty minnow crankbait. And the technique's going to be just casting as far as I can, keeping the rod tip down with a nice retrieve in. This position down here allows that lure to dive to its maximum ability and also puts me in a great position for hook setting. Okay, nothing on cast one. Let's try the other side of the boat, cast number two. Okay. Let's see if there's any bass hanging around here, folks. What a gorgeous morning we have here. There we go, second cast. Okay, I didn't get anything. Oh, I just lost them. Oh, second cast. How do you like that? My second cast ever, and I just missed them. It was a very poor hook set. It was my own fault. Okay, that's my fifth cast in. Good, solid hit. Oh. Good, solid hit. Now, if you want to keep these bass from jumping, if you watch your line, you'll see it when it starts to come up. And what you can do to try to help keep them down is just keep your rod tip down like this and try to force that fish down. Okay, this is a nice smallie. A great start to my day. If I can land them. Boy, these fish are strong. Come on, Mr. Smalley. Okay. There he is there. Not a big fish, but a good start. Still doesn't want to come in. There we go. We got him in. All right. Okay. Nice little start to our day. Hey, maybe that's why I missed that first one, was a smaller fish, perhaps. Okay, let's get him back in. Get this Misty minnow back in the water. Okay, for another cast. I put my electric motor in because there's no wind here this morning, and I just kind of want to quietly work my way around here. Let's see this here. I just want to quietly work my way around in this bay. So I've got it on a really small, low speed, and I'm just gonna kind of work around this shoreline in this area here and see if I can get into some more fish. Now, in case you're wondering, all I've got on that Misty minnow is just a single snap. You don't need a snap swivel when you're running crankbaits because they're not spinning around. But a single snap will allow that crankbait to have its maximum action, and that's what you're looking for with any crankbait, not just the Misty minnow, any crankbait. Okay. There we go. Oh, I missed him. My drag was too loose. Oh, I'm too excited this morning, folks. Okay, what I did there, the reason I missed that fish, my drag was so loose from landing that prior fish, I forgot to tighten my drag. And you always need a tighter drag on the hook set. So I've tightened it now. I'll be ready for the next hit. This guy hit it right at the boat. He hammered it right at the boat. Oh my. I saw the whole thing. The water is crystal clear. I actually saw the whole thing. He just came up and just hammered that Misty minnow. Just hammered it. Oh, okay. He almost jumped right out of the boat or out of the net. That's a better fish right there. Nice smallie. Look at there. There's a nice chunk. That's what we're after. These better bigger smallies right there. That's a nice smallmouth bass right there. I love it. That was a great hit. Okay, we're gonna get this guy back in the water. And where there's one, there's more. That's for sure. And as we've been finding out, there's actually quite a few bass in here because I'm having some great action. What did I do here? I got all wrapped around. I'm having some great action here this morning. Get this out and get my line back in. Okay. The wind's just picked up just a smidgen. We got just a little ripple on the water now. See if I could hook into another fish. That's why I love running crankbaits. What a good hit that was right there. What a solid hit. When you're using crankbaits, folks, you're looking for those aggressive fish. And they are real aggressive when they hit, and boy do they hit hard with these crankbait bite. And the other thing with the crankbaits, you're covering a lot of water. When you're jigging, you're slowly and methodically working little areas, but when you're using the crankbaits, you're really covering a lot of water fast. So you're able to search more water and hopefully get into more fish. And like I say, it's a real aggressive bite. And you know, with these misty minnows, when you're looking for crankbaits, there's all kinds of different shapes and sizes out there. And what I really like about the misty minnow, it looks like a real minnow. In fact, the shape, it's a custom shape from Thundermist Lure Company. It's their own design. Oh, it's their own design, and it looks so realistic. And those fish can relate to that realistic shape. And you go. Those fish can relate to that realistic shape, and they just hammer these baits. Okay. There's another nice smallie right there. That's a nice smallmouth bass in anyone's books right there. Decent fish. And this Lake Eerie water is so clear. You can see everything, which is kind of even more exciting, especially when they hit a little bit closer to the boat. Take another cast out here. Now the area I'm working, I mentioned that I'm running the medium-sized misty minnow, and the reason for that is because it dives about up to 6 feet. And the area I'm fishing here is about 8 feet deep. So the 6 foot depth is actually perfect because it's getting right down in the strike zone. Now if I were to move into deeper water, say 12 feet, 15 feet, I would go with the large misty minnow, which dives 8 to 12 feet. Put that electric motor in again. Get right back out there because this is exciting fishing with this little chop on the water. I absolutely love it. It's just enough to keep things, I think, stirred up and activated. And these fish are really active this morning. And as you can tell, I am working both sides of the boat. I'm working the front, I'm working the back. One of the advantages of fishing by yourself, you can work the whole area. Mind you, I do like my company. I miss Antonio today. He's actually out on a camping trip, so he's out fishing somewhere. You can count on that. Okay, nice long cast. Try to cast as far as you can when you're working these crankbaits. You'll get more coverage and you'll get more depth. You'll be in the strike zone longer with a longer cast. I was just ready to kind of get it out of the water, and he saw that misty minnow coming up. Oh, I don't want to lose him now. And he hammered it just on the way up. You see how clear this water is? You know, one of the most questions I get asked most often, he doesn't want to come in. One of the questions I get asked most often is, what color should I use? Well, today I'm running a silver purple, but any silver, the silver green would have been good, the natural would have been good. But in this clear water, you want to run as natural as possible. As natural bait as possible. Now, if it was cloudy out, or if the water was a little murky, you know what my go-to color is, and that's the gold. Okay, he's in the bag. All right. Yeah, the gold would definitely get the nod. If today was cloudy, or if this water was a little bit murky, then the gold misty minnow would have been on the end of my line for sure. This one, oh, might need a pair of pliers quickly. No, I got it out. There we go. It's another decent smallmouth right there. Okay, get him back in. But yeah, color does make a difference. And these natural colors work really great in clear water and in sunny days. And you notice how easy it was for me to get my line out of that net. I love my little bass net. The rubber nets, they work great. Your lures and your line don't get tangled up in them. And they're real easy to come out. It makes it real easy and saves you a lot of time. Those mesh nets, they can really get you tangled up in a big mess. But boy, that was great. You know, these crankbaits are just so much fun to use. Cast and retrieve, cast and retrieve, cast and retrieve. And when they hit, oh, I better tighten my drag. See, I forgot to tighten my drag. There we go. When they hit, it's always a real nice solid thump. World's smallest smallmouth. Just goes to show you, these little fish don't mind hitting either. Just a small bass. Okay, I don't need the net for him. Look at that small bass, hammered that bait. When they're aggressive, oops, there's a catch and release. When they're aggressive, they all bite, big or small. Oh, good hit, folks, that's a decent fish. Oh, you know, one of the questions I get asked most often is line and rods. And I got to tell you, I'm running the Thundercarbon right now, which is 100% fluorocarbon line. And when I'm cranking, I like to run fluorocarbon or monofilament because they have a bit of a stretch to them, and you need that little bit of give when you're setting the hook on these crankbaits. Okay, so it's as opposed to the braid that has no stretch. So I really like, my preferred is fluorocarbon line, and that's what I'm running here, 100% fluorocarbon. Now, as far as the rod, I like a rod with a medium action and a medium tip. This is a medium action rod here, and see the bend in it, how it bends? It starts to bend right about halfway up the rod, and that's what you want. Okay, I think I've tucked it out, maybe. There we go. There's a nice smallie right there. Yeah, how the rod bends right halfway, and that's a medium action, medium tip rod, whereas a fast tip would bend right there, and a slow tip bends from here. Fast tip is great for jigging. Medium tip or slow tip is great for cranking. And I've got the great combination going here today. We're getting some nice fish. Oh yes, just hooked in the bottom lip. There's a nice smallie right there. I'm just having a phenomenal day out here today, folks. You know what, these misty minnows, they're brand new. If you can't find them, I'll put a link in the description. But if you've never used crankbaits, give crankbaiting a try. You'll have a blast. I'm having a great time. I have a whole day ahead of me. Look at this day, it's phenomenal. If you get an opportunity and you got a nice day, make sure you get out on the water. I'll let this guy go. I want to thank you so much for tuning in, folks, to today's episode of Thundermist Fishing Tips. And as always, until next time, good luck and good fishing. That's what we're doing. And Detroit River's right here. We're fishing just at the mouth here. So we've got the wind blowing us towards the river.